Hi, hello ji, namaste, sat sri akal, assalamu alaikum. Yeah, today's video is all about Quran. The title says Quran versus science, but I think it's a bit misleading because Quran is science. I have literally seen shocking scientific facts which prove that Quran is 100% correct, and this video is versus, like, it's a comparison. So I am excited. Actually, it's controversial, right? And we like to get into controversies, but till date, like in the span of 1400 years, no one till now have proved Quran wrong. So this will go on for years and years, and no one can prove Quran wrong, right? Do you agree with this statement of mine? Because it's not me who is saying this, lots of scientists say this. Also, the title says wonders of Quran, so it's going to be a very wonderful video. Just watch it till end. It's a small one. Let's start the reaction. But before that, if you have not followed me on Instagram, follow, because I make comedy content over there and you will love watching it. The link is in the description. Go and follow me after this reaction. People of Islam.
The Quran was revealed during the age of literature and poetry 1400 years ago.
1400, yeah,
Now,
that's what I told
we live
you.
in the age of science and technology.
Yeah.
In the Quran, there are more than 6,000 signs, out of which over 1,000 speak about science.
See.
Today, the Quran remains unchallenged and is by far the best Arabic literature to date.
Best Arabic literature.
This is great, but with the rapid progression of science and technology, can we say the Quran has stood the test of time, or has it become a tale of the past? Allah speaks about the field of astronomy.
Astronomy.
The Big Bang states that the universe originated from a single point and expanded into the stars and galaxies we know today.
Wow.
Way before this theory, the Quran says, "Have those who disbelieved not considered that the heavens and the earth were joined together as one entity, then we separated them?" Similarly, the expansion of the universe can also be found in the Quran, along with all celestial bodies in orbit and planets alternating night and day. What's amazing is if we take the words in the verse used for all celestial bodies in orbit and split them into their individual letters, they mirror each other and appear as if they are in orbit.
Okay. Wow, this is
Science
great.
has found that the solar system is not stationary, but is in fact moving towards a fixed point known as the solar apex. Science also tells us that the sun's fuel will eventually run out, causing it to die. The Quran captures both these points in one verse, and more specifically, one single word. Without the atmosphere, life on Earth would not be possible. It shields us from tons of small meteorites showering the Earth every single day, and it filters out harmful radiation that would otherwise cause severe genetic damage. Saying that, the Quran refers to the sky as a protected ceiling.
Yeah.
Allah speaks about the field of oceanology.
Oceanology. Yeah.
Specifically, Allah talks about two seas that meet, one fresh and sweet, and one salty and bitter, and between them is a barrier.
Yeah.
William Hay, a
never
famous
meet,
marine
yeah.
scientist, explained that these two seas have varying temperature, density, and salinity.
So they never
When water
meet.
from one sea passes
See
to
this
the
one?
other, it becomes homogenized, resulting in what the Quran refers to as the forbidding barrier. The Quran talks about the darkness in the depths of vast, deep oceans, where if a man stretches out his hand, he can hardly see it. Without modern equipment, the deepest a human can dive is about 20 meters.
Yeah.
Only after 200 meters is sunlight absorbed rapidly, and the Quran said this way before any equipment 1400 years ago. Allah speaks about the field of geology.
Okay.
Frank Press, a famous geophysicist,
Roots
highlighted
of
the importance of
mountains.
mountains in stabilizing the Earth's crust from shaking. The Quran specifically mentions this. Thanks to modern technology, we have found that mountains are typically much deeper than they are high. Think of tent pegs. they are pushed deep into the ground to stop the tent from flying away, and you only see a small part of it on the outside. Amazingly, the Quran refers to mountains as pegs. Allah speaks about the field of biology. In just a few lines, the Quran gives a description of how the human is formed, which science has proved is in the correct chronological order. Particularly, Allah describes the embryo using the word alaqa, which has 3 separate meanings when translated.
Okay.
1, a blood clot, 2, something that clings, and 3, a leech. The first 2 meanings, without a doubt, resemble the embryo accurately, but a leech? Here is an image of an embryo next to a leech. Here is an X-ray of an embryo next to the internal structure of a leech. And here are microscopic images of the head of an embryo and the back end of a leech. To top this off, these verses end with Allah saying, "We brought it forth as another creation." With great advancements in science, we now know that the initial stages of development in many animals are strikingly similar. Today, science has shown that gender is determined by a pair of sex chromosomes where XX is for females and XY is for males.
Yeah.
It is the sperm that carries the genetic information for X or Y, whilst the female egg can only carry X. And the Quran specifically summarizes this.
I didn't know about it.
In the Quran, Allah says that every living thing has been made from water. Because of the cytoplasm in cells, 70% of the human body is made up of water. Consider this. Allah mentions that He created all pairs, but amazingly, He says from that which they do not know. Only recently, we are discovering more of nature is found in pairs, as Allah says. The Quran states that every living thing, whether on the earth, in the earth, or in the sky, is found in communities. As you know, there are thousands of documentaries that are widely available that show just how fascinating animals are in their communities. In the Quran, Allah quotes a conversation between ants. In these verses, they tell each other to hide so that they aren't crushed by the people walking by. For centuries, people mocked these verses, calling them a fairy tale in which ants speak to each other. We now know that ants are a lot more similar to humans than most animals. For example, they bury their dead, they have marketplaces where they exchange goods, and they occasionally meet for a chat. They have advanced communication methods, and in the workplace, they have sophisticated division of labour from managers to supervisors to workers.
I reacted on
in
it
just 2
separately
verses,
in a video.
Allah tells us many things about the bee.
Yeah,
Worker
I
bees
don't know.
that gather pollen and make the honey are actually females.
Okay.
Male bees do not make honey. In these verses, the verbs used for worker bees are female. In these same verses, Allah tells us that honey comes from the belly of the bee, which science has confirmed. Additionally, the word used for belly is plural, meaning more than one. Science now tells us that bees have 2 stomachs. Again, in these verses, Allah tells us that honey is a healing for the people. Today, we now know that honey has medicinal and antiseptic properties.
Yes.
These are
Any
such
medicinal
subtle details but have proven 100% accurate. And to conclude, Allah ends these verses by saying, "Indeed, in that is a sign for people who think." It is important to note that the Quran is not a book of science. It is a book of signs for people to contemplate and to make an intellectual decision.
It's a book of
Saying
science.
that, not a single scientific sign in the Quran can be proved wrong by established science.
This
What's
is what I
fascinating
love about Quran.
is that the Quran was recited by a man who could not read or write over 23 years in jumbled up order. Despite all of this, the Quran contains 0 contradictions and has strikingly accurate statements that we have only come to know so many years later. Please subscribe to discover more about the wonders of the Quran.
Okay, there the video ends, and there were many things that we knew already, like when we talk about ocean and the sun, the rotation, water. But there were few points that I came to know like today only, right now, with you all in this reaction video. When we talk about the word, which is, I don't actually know what that word was in Arabic, but when we write it, it forms as if the shape of orbits. So it's crazy. And in the end, the dude said that Quran is not a book of science, it's a book of SIGNS, science, for people to understand. And I loved this statement absolutely. I loved watching this video. Please subscribe this channel for more videos on Quran and Islamic videos. This is Kilaya React signing off. Thank you so much for watching this reaction video. Also, I have lots and lots of respect for Quran because it's so scientific. Like, no one have proved it wrong till now. This is a very great thing. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye bye, take care. The link of my Instagram is given in the description. You can follow me over there and get updates of my personal life, like what goes in my life on daily basis. Bye bye.